Okay guys, I am just going to sort of go over a little bit how I thumbnail things out. So for this particular project that we're doing, exercise really, not a project, when I'm thinking about penguins, I'm going to use a series of circles and ellipses to create my rough. So I'm doing a thumbnail, so I'm working sort of 3 inches by 4 inches so I don't take up the whole page. And then I might start with the most simple sort of pose, which can either be forward, eye level, or to the side. So I'll start with some really light circles. So I'm sort of going to put in a head, working on some ellipses, and I'm not too worried at this point that I have a bunch of lines. That's okay. At this point I kind of use the motion of the pencil to create multiple lines, and then I'll add or subtract from there. So I'm putting some oversized feet. I know there's a wing. So you see how I'm going really quite loose on here. Put in an eye. And then I know that there's a color break. So once I think I have relatively what I need, the next thing I'll do is I'll take my pencil and then I'll just follow the lines that I have, and I'll go in and try and do sort of one darker one, and then I'll continue that throughout the whole drawing. And I will fix these up a little bit later, but for now, just going in and darkening things in a little bit. We'll put in a slight tail here. And the reason I'm doing this is because eventually this is gonna end up in Illustrator, and so I want to have really clean lines for me to trace with. So I'm sort of just going in, putting in really basic shapes. And then once I have that, I'm going to come back in with my pen, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now this time, now you can do this a little bit earlier. You don't necessarily have to go so dark with your pencil, but I'll come in with my pen like that, and then once I've done the whole bird, I'll kind of just come back in and I'll erase back so that all I'm left with is a solid black line. And really that's the idea behind doing a thumbnail sort of iconic penguin that I'm later going to redraw in Illustrator. So when you're doing your these, do multiple versions, right? So I've got one, and then maybe I'll do another one front facing. Tried a few different things before I get into style. I'll just sort of get the real basic shapes down.